Hi, everybody. Today is Thursday, January 7th. I am sharing an oldie. Old people in. It's old. I wrote this in like January of 2012. So it's 4 years old. Oh my God. So when I do read these stories, I get to find out where my mind was. It's not necessarily an experience of mine, but it is. I get to see where my mind was because these come from my imagination. So here goes. The story's called Secrets, and what I want to share also is it's not complete. I never completed it. It doesn't end well because it's incomplete. Okay, I'm gonna start. Secrets. I'm in my bathroom. Don't look at the terrible paint job. Ugh. Secrets. And how would you describe your time in that union? I smiled when he asked me that because a smile beats a grimace always. So with the same plastered on fake smile, I answered, well, the union was the past 6 years of me trying to keep down my lunch. This was very true because it was about 6 years that I fell in love with him. Out the corner of my eye, I could see my publicist grimace, so she grimaced for me. The interviewer kept his face straight, but his eyes moved wildly, and the cameraman was laughing. We were live on national television, and though what I had just said was going to have major repercussions, I honestly didn't care. The rest of the interview went by in a haze. The rest of the questions lobbed at me were softball. The viewers had gotten what they wanted pretty early. I imagine that when I see the finished product, I'll look like I'm on drugs because I'm certain that my eyes were glossy. I tried really hard to hold my tears in. Thankfully, I was successful. Yuck. Today was supposed to be a regular and normal day. Instead, in a childish display of impetuousness, I had ruined what was my acting career, or at least the image I had presented as Holly Homemaker. And even worse, I'm sure that I ruined my crumbling marriage. The good thing is that I'll be free from all the lies. That's the best part. But it's also the scariest part because I'm uncertain as to what it may mean. But I had grown tired of the lies and protecting him. I think that all along the lies had been making me ill. I loved him, but the deception was too much. People would eventually begin to believe the rumors if they hadn't already. Regardless, I'm sure that I, through my big mouth, had ruined everything. He was once my favorite movie star, and we had met on the set of the film. There's no title there, because I don't want to tell you who this person is. Back then, I was an up-and-coming makeup artist, so I was privy to so many unseen and unknown things. There was a hierarchy in the makeup artist community, so as a newbie, I was only allowed to work on the extras, and though it's mean, unimportance, that was until I saw something that no one was ever supposed to see. Everyone should be as lucky as me because my life changed because of green eyeliner. I had run out of some green eyeliner, so I had gone to another trailer to borrow one. When I walked into the trailer, I heard a whispered argument. I couldn't see anyone, but the arguing seemed to be turning into a tussle. Overcome with nosiness, I peeked around the partition and saw two men, one very familiar, not tussling, but making out in a wild frenzy. The one who I recognized was bleeding on his arm, and there were what looked like bite marks on his neck and arms. I et emmed, and they stopped. When they turned and faced me, I saw that it was him. In an instant, my mind screamed, "Oh my goodness, he's gay!" But strangely, I said nothing. We all stood silently, staring at each other for a very long time. Then the other guy put on his t-shirt and walked out. I stood there looking at my imaginary husband, and with a bit of shock, and turned the page. It's taking too long, I apologize. And sadness, I started to walk out. "Please wait," a pained voice cried out. I didn't really want to wait because I didn't really want to look at him. Actually, I was embarrassed for him. Not for his homosexuality, but for his cowardice in concealing it. But I waited. Look, he said, I'll give you anything, money, cars, a house, an apartment, anything, but please don't say anything. He was actually begging, and I hated that, and I was embarrassed for him even more. I looked at him, and he was crying, and being desperate to leave, I said, it's okay, I don't roll that way. Then I walked out. Why would I tell? Everyone has some kind of secret. The following day, I was no longer an insignificant. I was working with the headliners of this film, and he specifically asked that I work with him and him only. When the filming stopped, I was offered the opportunity to be his makeup artist, and I accepted. This went on for over 2 years when one day out of the blue he asked me what my dreams were, and I told him that I really aspired to be an actress. And soon after, he had me cast in some small parts whenever possible. I was on top of the world. All this time, he was still in a relationship with Mark, and it was still a violent and very passionate one. Mark seemed to be growing angrier and angrier because James refused to come out of the closet. Every day Mark made threats about exposing and ruining James, and eventually he did. When they broke up, Mark had told the Inquirer, and they ran a 4-page expose. James worried that he was ruined, and that's when I asked him to marry me. We were married in a small ceremony, and because of our closeness prior to the ceremony, most people found it plausible. Mark was thought to be a fraud, and life went on as usual. My career was blooming, and I went on to have 2 children, beautiful homes, and a beautiful marriage. I was by his side when he won his Oscar, and I was the first person he'd thank when he received it. We fooled everyone, though at the time he had a new love, Andre. I fooled myself in the process too, because against my better judgment, I had fallen in love with him. I guess time, an open mind, and a loving heart can do that. I was so stupid. While I had no hopes or desire to change him, I just wanted him to love me back, and he couldn't. Our charade went on for 8 years. Mark never got over their ending, and out of the blue, every other celebrity outlet was interviewing him about his long romance with my husband. With my children old enough to be teased and thus hurt by these things, I decided to confront him. And that's where I stopped. I did not know how to continue. I did not know how to go on. Somebody gave me some ideas, which was neat, but then I didn't want to use their ideas because then it felt like it wouldn't be my story. So I didn't use some of the nice ideas that I was given, but again, I couldn't because they weren't my ideas. So that's my little tale for today, my incomplete tale. That's the sign of a not so good writer, can't finish things. It's 4 years old, I can't believe it. And that's Secrets. Maybe one day I'll finish it. Thank you for watching. Tell me what you think. Bye.